In ancient Rome, the most powerful man on earth once gave political honors to a horse, not as a joke, not as a myth, but as a serious act of imperial authority. The emperor was Gaius Julius Caesar Augustus, Germanicus better known as Caligula, and according to multiple Roman historians, he elevated his favorite horse, Incitatus, to a status meant only for Rome's elite. A marble stable, jewels, purple blankets reserved for emperors, and a promise recorded by ancient writers that the horse would be made consul, one of the highest offices in the Roman state. So why would a Roman emperor do this? Was it madness, or a calculated insult to the Roman Senate? Caligula was born in 12 AD, the great-grandson of Augustus, Rome's first emperor. His nickname, Caligula, meant little boots, a childhood joke from soldiers who adored him. When he became emperor in 37 AD, Rome celebrated. He was young, charismatic, and the last living male of Augustus' bloodline. But within months, something changed. Ancient sources like Suetonius, Cassius Dio, and Tacitus all report that Caligula fell seriously ill late in 37 AD. After his recovery, his behavior became increasingly extreme. Executions increased, public humiliations became common, and his relationship with the Senate deteriorated rapidly. Caligula despised the Roman aristocracy. He believed senators were corrupt, cowardly, and unworthy of power, and he wanted them to know it. This is where Incitatus enters history. Incitatus was Caligula's favorite racehorse, not a symbol, a real animal. According to Suetonius, Caligula ordered Incitatus to be housed in a marble stable, with an ivory manger. The horse wore purple blankets, a color legally restricted to emperors and high magistrates. He was fed oats mixed with gold flakes. Roman senators were reportedly ordered to maintain silence near the horse's stable the night before races, so Incitatus could sleep undisturbed. These details are not legends. They appear in multiple ancient biographies written within decades of Caligula's death. But the most shocking claim comes next. Suetonius and Cassius Dio both state that Caligula publicly announced his intention to appoint Incitatus as consul. The consulship was not symbolic. It was Rome's highest elected office. Even emperors treated it with respect. Now, historians debate whether the appointment was ever officially completed. There is no surviving decree naming Incitatus as consul or senator, but that may not be the point. Cassius Dio explains the intent clearly. Caligula wanted to prove that a horse could perform the job as well as a senator. This was political theater, brutal, deliberate, and humiliating. By elevating an animal, Caligula was declaring that the Senate had become meaningless, that their authority existed only because the emperor allowed it. This fits a larger pattern. Caligula routinely mocked senators. He forced noblemen to run beside his chariot. He executed officials on trivial charges. He openly declared himself a living god, demanding worship. He even threatened to move the capital of the empire away from Rome, removing the Senate entirely. The horse was not an accident. It was a message. In 41 AD, after less than 4 years of rule, Caligula's enemies finally acted. Members of the Praetorian Guard, along with senators, assassinated him in a palace corridor. He was 28 years old. After his death, the Senate attempted damnatio memoria, the erasure of his memory from public life. Statues were destroyed. Names were chiseled away. But the story of Incitatus survived, because it captured something unforgettable about power. Here's the irony. Caligula never needed to actually make his horse a senator. The threat alone worked. The Senate obeyed. They watched in silence, and they recorded it for history. Today, Incitatus remains one of the most famous horses of all time, not for winning races, but for exposing how fragile political authority can be when all power rests in one person. Caligula didn't elevate a horse because he was insane. He did it because he could. And 2,000 years later, historians still debate the same question Romans whispered in fear. Was this the moment the Roman Republic truly died, when even a horse could rule, as long as the emperor allowed it?